Okay, well, I had a bit of a situation with the Bloodhound's Fang build and shenanigans. I realized that not only the Vikes War Spear, but also the Halo Scythe would be, it could be pretty good on that build. Dex, Vikes, we don't really have too much of a fire source. And of course I realized this right before Carrion Manor, because those Finger Creepers are horrible, and they are very weak to fire, specifically. And I was like, okay, well, I do have Blood Flame Blade, but, fucking check this shit out. I don't know why I'm just intimidating the hell out of Elvis here, but I have no idea. I always find that funny. Just messing around with him. Every time. I've always messed around with him in some way. But anyway. Yeah, Vikes, I did the math. It was just like, okay, can I equip, like, what's the heaviest loadout in terms of, like, weapons and armor? What's the heaviest setup that I got? Can I, like, if I divert some points from my endurance on that build of, like, what was it, like, 37 at that point? Like, if I go from that to 34, and I put 3 points in the face, so I can use Vikes and just have that fire option and just really enjoy Vikes. I like Vikes in PVE. It's not as kind of strange as it is in PvP, right? I wouldn't say like necessarily like super duper nutty OP in PvP, but in co-op, yeah. But man, PVE, it's a cool option. One of my favorites, definitely top 10 favorite weapons. And I was like, oh man, I gotta make this work, because it scales so well with Dex. And if I can just have that, I can just have this amazing option. All sorts of good tools, and just like being able to rework one of your favorite weapons and just see different ways in which it could be used. It's like, I always like doing that. Refining the skill set, because I haven't messed around with Vikes since my second run. And oh man, it's about time I get back into it. That's gonna be exciting. So I did that, I changed it around. My heaviest setup on that build would have been Zweihander, Lightning Zwei with the pulley crossbow on the offhand for poison bolts, Mushroom Crown, Kindred of Rot's Exaltation. I did all of the stats up and then gear up with 34 endurance, but also just with the regular Erdtree's favor. Not even necessarily +1 or +2, because I wanted to be like super forgiving. Look at this. Look at the damage. Look at the damage. And then the utility of Gravitas. Get the hell out of here, dog. Satisfying. But yeah, I wanted the armor on that deck setup to reach 51 poise, because hey, you just saw that Gravitas tank was able to not get interrupted because I have that 51 poise on this setup right now. Nice little int Meteoric Ore Blade setup, where I'm also repping a Twinblade and some other stuff. But yeah, with all that setup, I was very comfortable. I definitely reached 52 poise with the heaviest setup. I also had more room to spare, and I was at 34 endurance, and I was like, okay, dude, let's just go and invest in Vikes. And my time with the Finger Creepers, my time fighting Loretta was so scuffed, so scuffed. I have to go back and try again. Like, I've beaten Loretta, that's fine. That was a scuffed Zwei fight. Really, honestly, it should have been probably Claymore. Get over here. Get over here. Love Gravitas sometimes, man. But yeah, probably, you know what? Maybe should have been Claymore, and then just invest in Zwei for later, but, I almost certainly could have just dunked on Loretta with a even a +6 Claymore harder than I did on that time with the +12 Zwei, as it were. It was just brutal, man. Because I'm trying to use Giant's Hunt, because that has more damage scaling on a Dex build, or on that build in particular, than Lion's Claw. But man, Lion's Claw being able to chase Loretta down, that is so nice. That is so nice. And yeah, Loretta being a jank-ass fight on that build really makes me wish that I could refight bosses in the main vanilla game. That would be great. That would be so good. Would have been able to just record it time and time again. Coulda, woulda. But anyway, that's fine. I'll still be able to mess around with Vikes. I'll still be able to mess around with Bloodhound's Fang. I'll still be able to mess around with so much stuff on that build. I don't think I'm going to do Halo Scythe. I could. I'm not going to. By the way, check that Sordid Moonveil. Bye. Not using that. I save my FP for very specific things. Not Moonveil. Hello, Gideon. Hello. I think I tried to break his desk here. It's like it's not gonna let me. Oh well. But yeah, I really wish we could refight bosses. I think right now, boss pattern RNG is really bad, and there's just a lot of boss attacks that are rare for no reason, and that most players will just never ever see. And on the big bosses, it feels really bad because once people realize this, now it's like, oh, did I really just beat that guy because of my skill? Did I really memorize all of his patterns? I didn't see that move. Did I just get lucky? And a lot of people are going to come to the conclusion that, yeah, I got lucky in my run. Got lucky versus Morgoth. I got lucky versus Moog. Got lucky versus Melania. Got lucky versus this, that. You know, Horaloo. Something people aren't going to say that for, genuinely, is Placidusax. God, what an amazing boss. And generally, you take like a decently powered, not an overpowered, just a decently powered build to Placidusax, and you're going to see his spicy lightning nuke ability. You're going to see that where he cuts out the OST. Oh, it's gorgeous. Probably my favorite boss in the series. I love Placidusax, man. He's so good. But a lot of these other bosses, they have such unique chains, like Radagon too, where it's like you're gonna need to either mod the game to be able to refight bosses over and over again, or you're some sort of god tier speedrunner or challenge runner who's able to see all these bosses time and time again, because that's all they do, and they make the shmoney for doing that, right? Or you get lucky and you see it all, and that way you're able to prep for it, adapt to it, be skillful in that. I think that better boss patterns, so that we actually get a guaranteed see everything, or at least tight enough so that we get to see everything cool in a certain amount of attempts. I think that would be extraordinary. That would be good. That would be so good. Because Miyazaki really values the fact that we tell unique stories. You know, things don't line up exactly the same. That's why the lore is kind of nebulous here and there. Look at that Erdtree Avatar kill, by the way. Oh my god. So smooth. I love Ice Spear, man. Whee! Celebratory spin. But yeah, Miyazaki wants us to be able to tell different stories to each other and have it act like a forlorn time where the internet didn't exist, at least not to the same power as it is now, where everybody's just finding out secrets and rare moves and just posting them online, or just straight up data mining the game and sharing them and all of the cut content with us too. And man, do we want the sense of accomplishment stripped away for this sense of, oh, Miyazaki is just nostalgic for people being able to discuss things and like be unsure and try to fit together a picture of what's going on? I think he's more interested in that in terms of the lore. And so, oh, got wogged there. And so I think having all these tales in terms of combat is really silly, and it's also really silly because the amount of builds in the game and the technical build viability that we could have with Shadow of the Erdtree DLC coming in, and probably definitely adding things and probably patching some past things. The build variety in how we tango bosses is already going to elicit, and already has done so. It already has shown, obviously, and throughout the series as well. People fighting the same boss, even if you get the same pattern, okay? Even if you talk about the same moves, you're going to have a different story if you have a different build. Because you're probably going to be like, oh, I talk about like this, and I use this build, and then there was this exciting moment in that. And if we're able to refight bosses, or preferably the boss patterns get tightened up RNG-wise, then, well, we'll still have all of our great stories to tell. And here I get greedy with that extra hitbox on Ice Spear. I really should just stick to the ranging down. I mean, look at the base damage. Look at the DPS, man. Oh, 41, 40, 45, that's overkill. 4100 killed him. But that's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, man. That's why I sorted Moonveil. Goodbye. But yeah. If we're going to look at dev vision, and there's two contradictory, non-mandatory ideas at play. The gameplay idea, the one that really favors gameplay, should be prioritized and preserved. Especially more than something that isn't even hard-coded into the game as much per se, but is rather just some sort of nebulous meta idea that Miyazaki really loves, that we'll be able to have anyway, right? So, I think the more people realize, if they go down this path of RNG fest for combo trees on bosses, more people are just going to realize, oh my god, I got so lucky, you know? The deeper you get into the community, the more you realize, holy fuck, this run with this build, I got really lucky versus this boss, and I wasn't even using a setup that was too OP or anything. You know, it took me like X amount of attempts to go fight this boss, and I still didn't see all these moves. I was getting lucky. Did I overcome the challenge? Am I satisfied? No, quite the opposite. I'm unsatisfied. There was quite a bit of challenge that I didn't overcome. And that's fucking with the core identity of Souls games. And so that really, really has to be fixed. It really does. I don't mind if core strategies devolve in a sense. They're not going to, because FromSoft boss design is interesting enough. Even some of the gimmicks, like Boss of Deus Ex had a couple of gimmicks, but I mean, he was a spectacle boss taken to the highest level that even Rykard was trying to get to. I mean, Plaza Deus Ex was, oh my god, so good. I love Plaza Deus Ex. The indicator for the AoE, the lock-on, keeping track of him even when he goes invisible and comes back. I mean, just like being able to have all that time to track him in the air when he's like disappeared and he's coming down for you. Just like the double mid-ear lasers that you can avoid fairly well, or you can plan around to just, oh my god, he's so good. And the fact that we're probably going to get like a 5-headed P. Diddy. Sorry, can't call him P. Diddy. Not after the news about the actual P. Diddy. I used to call Placidus X P. Diddy. Demolish Grafted Scion. Demolish Grafted Scion. Wiggle on him. But yeah. Placidus X is fucking phenomenal. He is my favorite boss in the series. The only fault that I have with that boss isn't even a fault with that boss, it's just the Elden Ring camera. Let us zoom out, Miyazaki. What are you afraid of? Let us adjust the camera. I'm perfectly fine being a little mini guy. I want to be a little small dude fighting this big monster. I just want to be able to see everything. Don't be afraid. Be afraid of letting the camera wander out. I think Ongba did a he did this video versus Radon not too long ago, where the camera was fixed, zoomed out for a little bit, and it's just like, holy fuck, that looks so good. I'm sure that plays so well. Oh, it looks so satisfying. And everybody in the comments was like, huh, you know, I didn't think that the camera would be so much better, a little zoomed out for these big fights. It's like, really? You didn't think that? Really? But I'm glad that people do realize it now. It's like, good. You know what? It's probably just for the best that you're on the good side now. Like, now you understand. At least you understand now. And going forward, we can advocate Miyazaki again. I'm trying to get rid of this fucking desk, man. I'm trying to get From Software here to just make a better camera system. Like, oh my god, that would be so good. Because right now it's like the lock on and just sometimes you hit lock on, and if you're not locked onto an enemy and you don't have a target to actively lock onto, it just flips your camera around 180. And sometimes it just, there should be an enemy to lock onto, and it doesn't. And you're in combat, and it just flips your camera 180. And that's terrible. And so they've coded in a really weird camera interaction. But they haven't had these zoom outs for big bosses. Even like relatively big bosses. Like, it's ridiculous. Anyway, Placidus X phenomenal otherwise. Same with Radon. Man, Radon's fun. Radon is so much fun. Oh man. I think I'm gonna try to one-cycle him. I did one-cycle him in my recent playthrough. Just using the strength plus a little bit of int build to just absolutely put the pain on Radon. Oh my god. I think it's because I used a plus 10 Ruins Greatsword, but holy fuck. Put the pain on that, man. So sorry, Radon. I mean, I'm not sorry at all. That shit was fun as hell. But I want to see if I can do the same thing. Maybe with like twin knight swords, ice spear, maybe. Or maybe we go for the Meteoric ore blade as of usual. Check out this ice spear damage right here. Absolutely ridiculous. What the fuck? It's so good. Ice Spear is partially why just Moonveil is... Nope, bye. Bye, Moonveil. I'm chilling with Ice Spear. I'm chilling with Glintstone, or Glintblade Phalanx, the Ash of War. I'm chilling with all these things. I'm absolutely chilling. And yeah, I'll be chilling with the Meteoric Ore Blade, plus all sorts of Magma Sorceries. Oh man, I can't wait. Check the DPS, man. I don't even care about buffs or the Tibia Mariner's attacks. Just like, yep, I'm gonna get my DPS in. I rarely do these charge R2s too. If it's not the Godskin Peeler R2, I'm just not fucking with it on a Twinblade. But for Tibia Mariner, I'm just like, okay, why not? It's a Tibia Mariner. It's fine. Totally cool. Alright. Love getting these Smithing Stone 3s here. They're pretty rare until they're not. You start finding all the collectibles in Liurnia, and then it's like, oh my god. I have enough Smithing Stone 3s to, like, fully upgrade 2 smithing options, and then partially through another one. And I already have all these somber options that go beyond that upgrade level. I'm just like, goddamn. I have so much stuff to work with. I mean, not but like, yay! More Smithing Stone 3s. Thank you, Jarberg. Gotta love Jarberg, man. I don't know what it is, but Jarberg's very peaceful, but it's so ordinary. It's way too ordinary looking. I understand it's like, there are jars, there are tons of flowers, but you know there's gonna be people that upload videos about like chill times, with your favorite grace, staring at some sort of view in the distance. Jarberg is such a peaceful place that people could theoretically make videos like that for. Except, it looks like this. It's ordinary. And yeah, you get all these pots in there. It's like, that's good. I'll be using oil pots for my roiling magma. Absolutely, absolutely. Not only just that, but like Gelmir's Fury too. Even then, even though it's like this pot is so cool, I wish there were like 5 more of those, of varying sizes. Maybe there's like one pot that is like a house, you know? It's just upsized, and then part of it is broken such that you can just wander in, and there are other pots inside that are like chilling. It would make sense, because, you know, fucking spoiler alert, I guess. Alexander, you take his innards and you give him to Jarbaron there. And he's like, oh, thanks, you know, fucking eats it or whatever. It's like, yeah, that's cool. We love eating each other's innards once they die. It's like, surely that could be a thematic instance of, like, visual storytelling. It's like, oh, they're making the best of a sad situation. Look. They're like living inside a fucking corpse of one of their past like giant parental figures, or like village leaders or village elders. They're living inside, like it's still a structure, but it's like, you know, you're living inside a house that's made of skin or some shit to them, you know? It'd be rather disturbing, right? But no, not to them. Because once you actually complete the quest and bring Alex's innards back to Jarbaron, it's like, no, they would want to do this. Just like biologically and culturally, they love to do that. They would absolutely, very happily scavenge the fuck out of one of their deceased elders' innards. They make the most out of everything in that way. And so it's like, you know, it should be really cool. It should be so sick to look for. Maybe you make some, like, jars that are really lanterns. So they're jar-shaped lanterns. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like there's so much room for a proper aesthetic design, but it's just some fucking village, dude. Like, I understand that they just almost certainly just took over some village that was just tucked away, and you know, it's tucked away due to some sort of like landslide or something. It used to be attached right near the Carrion Study Hall in the Divine Bridge of Liurnia there. But come on. If it was attached, once attached near the Carrion Study Hall, at least have some, like, carrion architecture or something, or some, like, glitstone or some glowing blue flowers that are all in front of the carrion study hall. It's like, oh, give me something. Give me something other than just, you know, pick upable flowers into one jar. Give me something else. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll get something. But I doubt it. I mean, they already patched in so much in regards to Alex's quest and, you know, adding Jar Baron in the first place. So I really don't think we're gonna get any changes to that aesthetically. Also, I just completely didn't get that Starlight Shard, but that's okay. I don't really use those. Got this Flamberge here. You know, something that I'll be able to infuse cold and have blood. And it's a great sword that I will be able to one-hand with these stats. Here's a little example of me using Glintstone Phalanx. Nice little bit of proactive stance damage, and by little I mean it's a lot. Not to mention the R2 chain is pretty spicy. Be able to stack up a bunch of R2 buffs. Yeah, break that stance. Thing is nasty. It is nice. And so yeah, being able to use all that variety with this weapon, frost, and a little bit of bleed, and it having all the other properties, I'm styling with it. Could be able to go Lion's Claw with this. Of course, Chilling Mist in the future, maybe. Storm Collar, hello. Pretty spicy. Wild Strikes, maybe. I like Storm Collar more. That lingering AoE is so good, especially in progression. Just being able to fight the mobs with it. Ooh. Storm Collar is so nice. So yeah, I'll be able to just be able to use this, abuse this style on enemies, no problem. Be very effective and still maintain the similar style of play, but definitely modified to a degree rather than the Meteoric Blade, you know. Poise through that, no problem. I honestly thought that guy was dead. I really did. This video is going to be a little bit longer than usual. You probably noticed it's already 10 minutes longer than the previous ones. It's going to be about a little bit more than twice as long, if I remember correctly. I get to a lot of shenanigans in this episode. But there's a lot of good showcases. Like, already I've been shitting on a bunch of bosses, and that's a great deal of fun. And I will continue to do so. Yeah. Oof. Trying to catch them in multiple swings, but, you know, didn't quite work out. Oh well. Trying to get the backstab here. You can really cheese these guys with backstabs if you want. I didn't. I did not do that. So, best be on your horse, because they can absolutely outmaneuver you if you don't go on your horse. But damn. Yeah, this is what I mean. And these guys can drop Smithing Stone 3s, Smithing Stone 4s. Of course, you're going to get your 5 Smoldering Butterflies, 3 Fire Blossoms, which is pretty good, you know. Pretty spicy, but not as spicy as a 3 or a 4. Let's be real. Getting your 3s and 4s. But yeah, as you can see with like Ice Spear, Glintstone Phalanx, the question of when am I gonna get these pew-pews off just grows and grows. Like, when am I gonna do this? When am I gonna do that? And this is when I really think like, oh man, I kind of wish there was a lot less pew-pew and a lot more other type of spells. Different type of spells, you know? I'm not looking to one-shot stuff anymore. Hey look, I'm a turtle. Turtle bros. Yeah. It's kind of morbid if you think about it. Like, yeah, you like that? No, he probably doesn't. But yeah. I have no desire to one-shot bosses ever again. I have no desire to go through 10-second boss shreds again. I've been there, I've done that. I just want to dominate in what seems to be a relatively balanced framework of play that I think Miyazaki would be totally fine with, that I think that he designed towards. I want to do that. And getting certain types of spells that work towards that, despite how good certain melee is. Oh yeah. I love that. And this is a good first example of the magic Glintblade. What am I doing? It's been wiggles all today. But yeah, that magic Glintblade sorcery there. That's pretty good. Because of the delayed use on it, and the tracking, and the damage, it's really good to just set up and then return to melee, return to neutral. Just spice on these enemies, whatever it may be. It's excellent. It really is. And by excellent, I mean, it's designed very well. You know, it's not one-shotting bosses, it's not shredding bosses, but it's designed extremely well. Extremely well. And there'll be another pew-pew that I get that will be designed around just as well. The pew-pews that I'm going to use are Rock Sling, Magic Glintblade, and what was the last one? Glintstone, not Comet Shard. Glintstone Ice Crag. Yes. I need to talk to Celibus. Need to get him to sort things out for me. Well, I need to lie to him about Nefeli. But, rip. But yeah, once I do that, Glintstone Ice Crag will be mine, and then I'll be able to pew-pew to set up Frostbite, or to help out with Frostbite. And that'll be a really good way of keeping myself with all of this variety, you know, melee and magic. I'll be able to pew-pew and just not worry about it. It's like, should I be doing this? No, yeah, I should be doing this. I should be pew-pewing to get stance damage. I should be pew-pewing to get bonus damage while I'm doing melee. I should be pew-pewing in order to get Frostbite. All these three things, solid. If there were no other pew-pews in the goddamn game, I would be fine with it. Just those three. I'm cool. Have all the other ones be as interesting as Roiling Magma or Gelmir's Fury. What else is more Ice Storm? Honestly, the regular Meteorite I might use, just because of how unpredictable it is. You need the big boss, and you gotta be very particular. And so that one's nice, too. I feel like there's others I'm missing. Collapsing Stars and Gravity Well, phenomenal. Nice little utility options. Just stuff like that. I guess Collapsing Stars is a pew-pew. Let's kill this guy properly, right? Can't just one combo him, so I'm gonna have to be a little bit, you know, a little bit playing the game with my rolls. But otherwise, dead. Just like that. Dead as hell. Whee! Love it. Love killing these dudes. So nice. Another pseudo pew-pew that I might use are the Gravity Stone fans. Gravity Stone fans are really good on my strength with a little bit of int build. That is just so spicy. Just that solid AoE. Deals damage, deals stance damage, but definitely interrupts the hell out of the enemies. Woo! That's really nice. Really nice. And although it'll deal less damage, it'll still have all that utility of interrupting the enemies and adding more stance damage to the mix. And that solid AoE. So, might make good use of that. I'll have to kill that Dragon Barrow Bell-bearing Hunter. As much of a pain in the ass as that guy is. Even so, oh my god, look at me. Look at me thinking about going there at night just to take him out. I'm like, maybe should I do that now? No. No. No, I shouldn't. I should not. But yeah, the future of this playthrough is going to be super nice. I might get Eternal Darkness too. Eternal Darkness is a pretty cool spell. I don't know when I'll be able to use it. It's again, same old problem. When am I gonna be using this? But I don't know, man. I feel like Eternal Darkness might be pretty solid against Renala. I'll have to try it out. I'll have to try it out. Although, I don't know. My strength int build, again, I one-cycled Renala too. I one-cycled Renala and then I one-cycled Radahn. I love it. Domination without being extremely OP. There's a certain level of satisfaction to it. But, yeah, I think that's where the power level should be. I'm still dominating the bosses, but it just looks like somebody skilled at the game, which after 1,000 hours you would expect it to be, you know? I didn't get that arterial leaf, it's kind of annoying me. I hope it's not too annoying for you guys. Coming to the end of this video now, finally. Did I say 43 minutes? I guess just around 40. Anyway, I hope you guys had a good time listening to my rants and weird ramblings. I did this cave off camera, and thanks for watching. Always wiggle away, and I'll see you guys some other time. Bye!